and welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host, back from the dead.
Back from... Yeah, I thought I had like a chant, singing, and then I was like, I don't sing. I'm not good at that. I don't have a chant or anything
Back
clever to say.
The dead. Yeah, I had COVID. I got it. It got me.
She got it. She got it big.
Got the COVID. My dog died of cancer. So, pretty dark couple weeks for me. Pretty dark. I had to take to literally like out loud, out of nowhere, almost just start saying like affirmations.
Oh,
Just to
well,
get myself through the days. But you know what? It actually helped. So if you're ever feeling really fucking sad and depressed and hopeless, just literally say out loud, I have a car that works.
yeah.
And just start naming shit, and it'll help for a second.
Yeah. Good. I think that's a really good way of putting it. I don't do enough gratitude, I think. I really don't, and I should, but I should put more things in perspective like that and be more grateful. But I think every once in a while I'm just like, I live in California and that's my gratitude.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
like,
I said that a couple times when I was just kind of in a daze. I was like, you live in California. Sometimes that's all I could pull from.
I was in Oklahoma recently, and there's this thing where if you go anywhere else, people are like, California or specifically LA, that LA, how do you like LA? They want you to commiserate and shit on it with them. And I'm like, no, I like where I live. Like, I'm not gonna, what do you want me to do? Say like it's horrible and I've chosen to live here for 12 years and plant roots here? Like, what do you want me to say? Say it's horrible? It's so interesting that like, well, I could never do it. And I'm like, that's fine. I could never do your life, but I don't say that. I just have to go, well, it suits me just fine. And, and whatever their circumstance or their thing is, I'm just go, oh, it's just not for me. And I just leave it at that. It's like, it's just not for me, because anything you say other than that, you have then shit on their thing. And it's like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying it's not for me. But if anything positive you might say about your circumstance at that point, you've somehow shit on their territory, and you're like, I'm not trying to do all that. It's just very interesting, that dynamic. Yeah.
They hate us because they ain't us. You know what's up?
Yeah, they're like, give me some of that Gavin Newsom for governor. You know what I mean?
Ugh. Take it.
They just want that Gavin Newsom governor. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's just wild, man. It's just wild. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Blah, blah.
welcome to Vampire Podcast. Welcome to blah blah.
Blah, blah. Welcome to Tracy. Yeah. Oh my good. It's so interesting. I read a really interesting thread about how vampires have existed for the myth of vampires have existed for thousands and thousands of years throughout multiple cultures, but the Transylvania style, like the Dracula style vampire, like that we know for the last like 150-ish years, uses like a lot of anti-Semitic stereotypes and tropes and things.
Oh.
And that, yeah, like it's like,
Oops.
it was, yeah, like it was like very like, this is like this was like a really big anti-Semitic thing. And it's like, here's how you can write vampires without being like playing on anti-Semitic tropes and stuff like that. And here's how vampires existed for all these years, and it was like real chill, everybody had them, and then it was like, and here's how it was a specific attack. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yikes.
Yeah. And like I always say, it's like, well, when you know better, you do better,
So you're saying that we need to apologize for what we just did?
No, no, I think the accent is okay. I think making fun of that accent's fine. It's just like a lot of the imagery and the stereotypes and things like
Uh,
that were more like attacking like Jewish stereotypes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just interesting. I didn't know, but now I do.
so much art based in
Mhm.
hate. Why are you trash?
Okay. I'd like to take us back to a time in history,
Take us back.
a time and a place. So the place is Sterling, Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and the time is October 3rd, 1995.
Oh, geez, that's specific.
And what is so significant about that date? That was the reading of the O.J. Simpson murder trial verdict. And should I say the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron? Oh God, what's his name? Oh my God.
Who cares? We all
Oh,
know.
we
We
should
care.
we should frame it around the victims. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Livingston? No, that's an actor.
No. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh my God.
Why would you remember this? This happened in the 90s.
I know Ron Goldman. Oh my God, because we should frame it around the victims. That's what we should do when murder. We should say that this murder, not who the
All
murderer
right,
was.
PC
Anyway,
police.
I'm just trying to do it. I'm trying to know better. I'm trying to do better because I know better. Anyway, I'm taking us back to 1995, October 3rd. Now, I watched so much. I was in like third grade. I watched so much of that fucking trial, like an ungodly amount of that trial because it was televised.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, that's weird. Like, you should not have watched that much of a murder trial in the
Mhm.
third grade.
Mm-hmm.
But what specifically is trashy is my third grade classroom. We had the TVs on the carts,
Yeah,
the AV carts. And
yeah.
if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was
You're
a
old.
television. You're young.
I'm
if
sorry,
you
you're
don't
young.
know.
Excuse me.
You're very young. They would have very tall carts with a TV on the top row of a cart, and they would row it down to your classroom and then plug it in. And this is how you would watch something in your classroom.
And this TV is a cool 75 pounds.
If it's not 100, it's just a thick square of a television.
A square, but also a circle because the screen is curved, and then there's also like it's got this big fat ass in the back.
He's got a fat ass back.
Like imagine like an anvil, like a cartoon anvil. That's what we used for TV. Back in the
TVs were
90s.
not these slim, flat things.
No, they weren't.
And my teacher was like, we're going to watch the reading of the verdict live.
She wanted
a group of third graders pause their education to watch a murder trial verdict live. And I didn't know how trial, I had to pee, and I didn't know if I had time to pee. And I was sitting there crossing my legs, holding it, squirming. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't know that there would be all this like fanfare and all this stuff. And so I'm sitting there squirming, sweating. And I was like, I'm about to pee my pants to hear this verdict. And she finally was like, Erica, you have like 10 minutes of all this circumstance. Like, you have time. And I never ran in the hallway. But when I tell you, I sprinted to the bathroom and I was like, I'll risk getting a detention for running. I ran to the bathroom. I ran back so I didn't miss the reading of the verdict. And then, what happened. But I just can't believe how invested we all were. But that my third grade, 9 years old, 19 years old, 9 years old classroom was allowed to watch this live. And this was like a public school. Like, we weren't in murder school. You know what I mean?
Sure, you didn't go
like,
to murder school until later.
Not until later. That was state-funded education that we wheeled the TV down, the AV TV, plugged her in, and we're like, we're going to watch the verdict live. And then the classroom, we all had our who guilty, innocent, like we had theories, like we were put into camps, like,
Of course.
who thought this, who thought that. I remember being like, well, he's guilty, but they just don't have the evidence to convict him. And it's like, the fuck, like you're 9. Like you should think about like jacks on the playground and like t-ball at that, you know what I mean? Such like that's such a weird thing that shaped so much of me, I think. And
The
like
90s were fast and loose, brother.
fast and loose.
And then we all grew up and everyone fucking hates us. So,
yeah.
but whose fault is that, you know?
Yeah. And why are you trash, my dear?
Well, as I mentioned, we had COVID, my partner and I, my fiance and I, and a dog died of cancer all in the same time. Tell you what, cancer moves fast in a dog or in people. It's crazy. So prior to all of this news and happenings, we were going to have a little bit of a birthday party here for my fiance, as you know, and we got him a kegerator for his birthday, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a fridge that has like draft taps on the top, so we can serve draft beer in this house. In this house, we serve draft beer. Call it excessive, call it what you want. But as you heard from Erica, the 90s were fast and loose. So we're just doing what we can to make ourselves happy. And so we were like, okay, well, let's, like he likes to brew beer. Like, let's brew a birthday beer and for this party that we're going to throw. And because, it's a party, there'll be at least like 12 or 15 people here. Like, we'll make a beer, whatever. COVID, dog, party canceled. But guess what? What all 5 gallons still found their way to get drank by not 15 people, but 2. For perspective, 5-gallon keg of beer. How many beers? Hold on, sorry, I should have had this number ready.
It's at least like 6 beers total, right?
So a 5-gallon keg, which is what we made, 5 gallons, equates to 53 12-ounce beers.
My God.
Or 40 16-ounce. So we drank about 25 beers each over the course of about a week and a half. We're drinking every night. And I was like, wow, look at us. Look at our frat house. We couldn't even keep the keg long enough for anyone to try it after we recovered from COVID. Oh well, it was good. And it really felt like the beginning days of COVID where, you were like, should I drink at 11?
Right.
What's going to stop me? Are you going to fucking say something? I didn't think so. And I always used to say like, if I get COVID, I'm going to eat really, really healthy because I won't be able to taste. Well, spoiler alert, since I got it so late in the pandemic, I was still able to taste and smell the whole time. So I didn't eat fucking healthy. I drank over 25 beers.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I had to brew another beer and it's not ready yet. So there's no more beer in this house for a little while, which is, it's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we're just crazy, but not as wild and kooky as the guy in our first story.
That's true. They wanted to give a loving tribute to their papa, the gentleman in our first story.
According to aunews.yahoo.com, a hidden message on Dad's gravestone causes stir at the cemetery.
In a loving tribute to their papa, one family has let their dad have an eternal last laugh.
So his tombstone reads, "Forever in our hearts, until we meet again, cherished memories, known as our son, brother, father, papa, uncle, friend, and cousin." Sounds normal, except, a lot of weird periods. I read it perfectly. Those periods were all on purpose.
But the sweet poem has been revealed to have a double meaning, and when read as an acrostic, whereby the first letter of each line spells out a word. In Steve Owen's case, it reads "fuck off."
Yep, it's all listed up and down, and it just says "fuck off." Pretty funny. And apparently, this guy, apparently, he would have liked this. According
Yeah.
to his family.
Yeah. I mean, let the man play. Like, what? How many people are going to read it in the acrostic manner? You know what I mean?
Totally. I don't know if I would have. Like, I had to go through it a couple times before I even understood what I was looking at.
Yeah. Had the headline not been there, I don't think I would have caught it. I wouldn't have gone, oh, it says that. Like,
Yeah, I would have been like, man, I don't understand poetry. But
yeah, his family's like, it's really nobody's business. And if you don't like it, walk away.
yeah, I mean, and also like graveyards, like how you're only gonna really notice it if you're like have someone buried like right next to it.
Right. Right.
I think it's kind of cute. Have you ever thought about what your headstone would say? I mean, I have a feeling you want to be cremated. I know I do, but let's say that we weren't. Let's say that
Mhm.
cremating becomes illegal because of global warming or something.
Mhm.
And then they decide to bury us against our will. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for you. Did you want to be cremated?
I want to be one of those trees. I want to become like one of those make me a tree things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you
Don't
like? What would you like the placard outside of your tree to say?
I was here for a good time, not a long time. Although I do want to live for I will live for a very long time. I'm working on it. I take a vitamin C pill every day and
You wanted to say everything you just said. I was here for a
no,
good time, not a long time. Although I am trying to live for a long time. I take a vitamin C pill every day.
no, that sounds like have you
Eric
ever seen
agrees.
those cakes that where they're like
Yeah.
quoting and they're like they say way too much, they say the whole thing. Um
That's fucking hilarious.
talk to text dictation and you're like
Yeah.
that's I wanted the cake to say the first three words, not
The text to text. Always in my heart. What are you doing, you fucking idiot?
cake. Always in my heart. What are you doing, you fucking yeah, no, I haven't really thought too much about it.
I think you nailed it. I think you got it.
Yeah, I was here for a good time, not a long time. um
Although I am trying to live a very long time. I do take a vitamin C pill every day.
I only take a vitamin C pill every day.
Yeah.
So cracks knuckles in health. And I know people make fun of me, but I do think that there is some type of preservation in these Monster energy drinks that I drink. I drink the sugar-free ones, and that's the trick. But I think we're gonna find out like the taurine and all the chemicals in these Monster energy drinks are just like living embalming fluid.
Yeah, they're cryogenically freezing you from the inside.
Yes, they're keeping me alive. Anyway, that's what they're gonna be like. How did Erica live so long? And they're like, oh, it was the monster. And I'm just like a scientific experiment walking amongst us.
Hey, you think that they really froze Disney? Walt Disney?
I wouldn't put it past his like egotistical, Nazi sympathizing, union busting ass to do something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Like, but what if they did it? Like, when are they going to unfreeze him?
Oh, I don't think I don't think they did it well. Like, I don't think they had the technology. Like, they probably just literally, you know what I mean? They didn't have the technology to do it well enough. And so they're just like, oh shit, we just made a popsicle out of him. They didn't do it right to defrost him, like those. Have you seen those frogs that they're like, oh, this frog's been frozen for 20,000 years and then we brought it back to life for 8 seconds? And you're like, oh shit. I don't think that's what we can do to Walt, but
That's real? People have brought frogs back?
maybe I'm making that up. Hold on. Frozen frogs alive? Question. This is so stupid. A partially frozen frog will stop breathing, and its heart will stop beating. It will appear quite dead.
I'm going to say that this is not real.
Um,
Surely if they figured out how to freeze people by now, we would have known, right?
I feel like it's something only the uber rich know, like the uber rich have, And like we won't know about it until it becomes like available at like Costco,
Sure.
like on a membership basis, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's
oh, they offer freezing now.
oh
Really?
yeah, really. But just like you have to be a member though.
Yeah. And you
It's
also
not
have to like really hope that they don't go out of business when it's time to be unfrozen, or you're going to
yeah,
open up into a vast wasteland
yeah.
of scariness.
Speaking of vast wasteland of scariness, let's talk about a Florida man story
Okay.
from WSVN.com. Florida man dressed as a cow among several arrested in drug house bust.
Several people were arrested in a drug house in Florida, including a suspect who was taken into jail in a one-piece cow suit. Dress for the job you want.
I've always said that. I've always said that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So the Okeechobee County Sheriff's Office made the announcement on Friday via a Facebook post.
Ugh, of course. And you know they made a fucking joke.
You know, they made a fucking pun. They're probably like, he was moving on. He said the residents who want to deal drugs in their county should consider moving. These fucking guys.
With as much money as they get in taxes, you think that they would hire better joke writers.
I mean, can I be a copywriter for the police? Is that a service I can?
I don't think we should do it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a nice.
Oh, they had ammunition, they had drugs and drugs paraphernalia. That's what always gets me is like anything can be drug paraphernalia if you try hard enough. You know what I mean? Like if you have an imagination, anything can be drug paraphernalia, you know?
That's very deep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like how hard do you want to try? Yeah. He was in a one-piece cow suit and a pink hat. He supports the Women's March, you know? He just had his little pussy hat on.
Pussy hats are drug paraphernalia.
My God.
They might be considered that someday.
Probably so. Yeah.
5 years when you and I can't even open checking accounts.
You know, women couldn't have credit cards in their own names until 1974.
Yeah.
Anyway, so talk to me about equality. Anyway,
so the guy in our next story, he drinks a lot of soda.
God, does he drink a lot of soda? Like it made my teeth hurt just thinking about this. Like what I'm doing with Monster Energy drinks, he's like doing the opposite of.
How? Because you drink Monsters a lot.
Yes, but my Monsters are sugar free.
The opposite of a lot isn't more.
He's drinking full sugar Pepsis.
All right. According to the NewYorkPost.com, I drank 30 cans of Pepsi a day for 20 years at a whopping $8,600 annually. And apparently this story has made Erica think about herself with her Monster drinks.
Because I drink a Monster every day. It's my go-go juice. It's essentially my coffee. I'm going out of town next weekend to a music festival at a friend's house, staying at friends, and I shipped my energy drinks ahead of time to their house so that they didn't have to, you know, I didn't have to go to a store and try to find them, or they didn't have to try to buy them for me. I said, no, I'll ship them to you.
Andy Curry, 41, used to down 30 cans of soda a day and spent over $8,600 a year, roughly $25 a day drinking it for 20 years.
That is 30 cans of soda. I understand a 32 ounce, a 44 ounce a day, but 30 cans of 12-ounce sodas a day.
It's over 2 an hour.
Oh my God. He said with the help of a hypnotist, he's finally cured.
Okay, Erica. He's a 9, but he always has a Pepsi in his hand.
Oh my God. He estimates he's drank 219,000 cans of Pepsi, the equivalent of 7 million sugar cubes, since he first started sipping in his early 20s.
I've always loved the taste of a cold Pepsi. Nothing could beat it, and I just got hooked.
at this point, I'm just like, dude, do heroin. Like this would be less harmful to your body.
Heroin, maybe cocaine.
I don't know. I don't know much about drugs. I'm not very good. But
That's
I'm
fair.
like, do drugs. Like don't do this much sugar.
Some may say that he already was doing drugs.
Oh, 100% sugar will kill us.
He said he would like when he would go to weddings and stuff that like, or his wife would recall that going to weddings and stuff, everyone would be drinking like champagne and he would be drinking Pepsi.
as he called it, a can of fizzy pop. And he's in the UK. Is Pepsi easy to get in the UK? Like I know pop is like ubiquitous and like, but like Dr. Pepper's hard to find in the UK. Is Pepsi like easy to find? I don't know.
Here's a funny story. Shout out to Ashley Reardon because it's her story. She was in Paris once with her best friend for a wedding, and I think they got in a fight earlier. And do you remember when Diet Coke and Coke were doing that campaign of like share a Pepsi with Erica? You know, like they all had like names on the cans and stuff. Or
Oh,
share
yeah.
Coke with Erica.
Yeah.
So she wanted to order a Diet Coke, but she didn't know about that campaign, and she was in Paris. So she kept asking, she's like, can I have, or like a Lula or well, Lula or whatever? Cause the Diet Coke can't send share a Coke with Lula, but in French.
Mhm.
And her friend who works in advertising didn't tell her what was going on because they were fighting and just let her continue to embarrass herself until she finally got the Diet Coke. And then they
So-
laughed and I think they made up.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah.
That's I'm not very good at pronouncing certain things in English, much less coming to foreign languages. And I, on multiple occasions, have said sin chupolinos, but it's sin chupolines. And so like no grasshoppers, please. Like if I'm eating at a restaurant that serves like grasshoppers as a part of a dish or something, like a Oaxacan restaurant,
Sure.
and my partner's just like lets me do it, and he just smiles and watches me flounder, and then he's like, she means this, and he'll like come in and swoop in after he's let me look like an idiot for a couple of moments. And I'm like, thank you. You could have intervened while I was rehearsing what I was saying at the table.
Gets to be in on the joke.
He loves it. No, it's fun. It's a good time. It's a good time. Speaking of a good time in restaurants
And a
let's get
joke.
and a joke, let's get into our next article from the LAtimes.com.
Inside the crypto restaurant after the crypto crash. Because when bored and hungry, have you been bored and hungry in Long Beach? I've never even heard of it.
I've been bored and hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Long Beach, but I've never have those two overlapped, I would say.
Yeah. So this is a spot in Long Beach who didn't just embrace the aesthetics of crypto culture. It was all in on the digital money part too.
So the meme references to rockets and bulls dotted the walls, and bored apes, those cartoon monkeys that celebrities such as Paris Hilton and Post Malone have touted as six-figure investments, covered the cups and trays. But customers were also offered the option to pay for their meals in cryptocurrency. The restaurant was putting its Bitcoin where its mouth was, so to speak.
But not even 3 months later, in the midst of the crypto crash, have some investors been looking for the door. I think that they would allow you to pay in Ethereum or ApeCoin.
I think so. Yeah.
Or money. Or you could also pay in real money.
Yeah, in currency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not imaginaries. Smash burger was $9.25, pepper seasoned fries $3.50, and 8 clean cup of soda $3.50. Pretty reasonable prices, especially for LA. Like
I guess, but they keep describing this place as like a upscale, like In-N-Out with the quality, and it's like I'd rather just go to In-N-Out.
I'd rather just give my money to In-N-Out where I know that person's making $17+ an hour and is taken care of.
Yeah. But yeah, so they stopped accepting crypto payments, which they claim they've done before. But the timing of the crash of cryptocurrency certainly seems convenient.
Yes, so both coins are down more than 60% since early April and undergoing double digital interday and swings. So it would be understandable for any business to be reluctant to accept them in lieu of dollars. But yeah, so basically they're like, oh, the thing that we're built on? No, no.
No,
Cat money only.
yeah, we like memes now. Don't worry. It's funny though, because they interviewed like a bunch of people here and like all of them, it seems like everyone that they interviewed was like, oh yeah, I just go because the food's good. I didn't, I'll Google cryptocurrency. Sure. Like they didn't even give a fuck. It just like, they have good food. So
Yeah. Yeah.
which is good. I mean, because I don't think that they would have
Yeah.
survived if they didn't have good food. Because, like most people, I feel like who buy the cryptocurrency don't really like. This is why I don't totally get it, but whatever. It's not that kind of podcast, and I certainly don't want someone to explain it to me. But like, you get it and you hold on to it.
Yeah. You hold,
You don't
and
spend it.
yeah. Well, that's what's crazy. We're not getting at all of it, but we do have a brief history of money from
Okay.
Britannica.com. So the earliest form of anything was bartering. So like I have wheat. Can I have
Horse?
your daughter or a horse? And it was like, sure, I'll trade you wheat for, marriage or this horse. And then some of the first money, fungible money, was cowrie shells and other items from nature. And what's also interesting is that as soon as like hard currency was invented in any way, counterfeiting was invented at the same time. They were like, oh, those fuckers selling are using shells over there to trade for horses. I could paint these shells the same color. Now we have the shells. It's like counterfeiting has been around as long as money has been around.
It's kind of crazy, like when they decided to make the jump from bartering, which really does make sense. Things are worth what they're worth. Like if you have a lot of wheat and I have a lot of daughters, it's kind of like, yeah, that
Yeah.
have the worth. But
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess gold, because you can make shit out of it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what. So coins weren't used as metal for money was traced to Babylon around 2000 BCE. Leather money was in the 6th century BCE. Leather and animal hide began to be fashioned into currency, and ancient early Rome used this kind of money. Paper money started in China, previous in this time, but the gold standard wasn't introduced until 1821 by Britain.
Huh.
Yeah. Credit cards weren't invented until 1950. Again, women didn't get credit cards in their own name until 1974. And then Bitcoin was introduced in 2009. So,
and we'll see if it lasts.
We'll see.
What has lasted the test of time, though?
Yes. What has? Yep.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR, baby.
It's a blue winning ribbon beer. You know what I mean?
Blue winning ribbon beer.
Fucking Christ. It's a blue ribbon winning beer.
We're recording early if you guys can't tell. According to whiskeyriff.com, PBR officially unveils their 1844 pack, and you're going to need a forklift to get it home. 1844, 1,844 pack of beer.
Because that's the year the brand was founded.
So this is kind of cool. I mean, like, it's crazy to get that many Pabst Blue Ribbon, but they're doing this whole thing, like, to promote themselves. But like, they have a sweepstake where they're giving away like $1,844 every day, and they're also giving away 1,844 gallons of gas twice. They're saying, hey, college kids, we got you.
Yeah. Hipsters, we have you. Come back to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing like a 2008
Uh-huh.
having a PBR in your hands. I wouldn't even put a koozie on it because I wanted people to see
Oh
the
yeah.
label.
Yeah. You know, PBRs didn't really come introduced to my life until a little bit into my 20s when like yeah, they started showing up at like hipster bars and stuff. I feel
Mhm.
like I was more of a, you know, when it comes to cheap beers and underage drinking, I was more in the Coors Light family, you know,
Mhm.
the Rockies, Silver
Mhm.
Bullet, if you will.
Mhm.
There's only 250 of these 1,844 packs made right now. We have no idea how much they cost, but hey, you know, marketing teams at work doing the Lord's work.
That's roughly 461,000 beers.
What do you mean?
250 times 1844.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this next story.
Ooh, when I saw this story, ooh, like I there's nothing I love more than a public oh no. There's nothing I love more than that. I don't like to be a part. I don't like to be in the mix, but I like to be on the sidelines observing. And oh no, what happened?
Crimes of Passion. This is coming to us from the Huffington Post and from Twitter. An alleged threesome led to a 60-person brawl on a Carnival cruise. I mean, what are the odds? You get dragged on this Carnival cruise, which is go fuck, like, okay, like it might be fun, but it also might suck, but I'm gonna go. And then all of a sudden you see this big brawl break out, and you're like, what's happening? And then they go, it all started because of a threesome. And you go, I love cruises.
Yes.
This is sea law, pirate law at its best.
Yes, pirate law. An hour-long fight was caught on camera by the other travelers.
An hour-long fight.
So it was a threesome. Basically, the one that was left out of there were four. There was two couples, so that's four people.
Yeah.
Three of them were involved together. The one found out about that they weren't invited, or that their partner was invited in the other twos. So that's four people. The fact that somehow 60 people then became involved is the math ain't mathing, but it's also absolutely mathing because
I have a guess.
The moment somebody like threw a chair, everyone's like, oh, I've fucking been waiting for this. I've been pent up at home. I can't wait to get into some sea fight.
I think that, okay, I'm going to just name our couples really quick. Okay. And they're going to be easy names, just really, really easy to remember names. Okay.
Okay.
So we have Joseph Chrysanthemum, Adelaide, and Lewisstein. Okay. Really easy names, right?
No last names for the
So Joseph and Chrysanthemum went up to Adelaide and Lewisstein and said, would you guys like to swing?
Uh-huh.
And they said, absolutely. And so they had these plans all day, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then after dinner came, during dinner, Adelaide said to Lewisstein, are you sure you want to eat shrimp? We're gonna go fuck these people later. And Lewisstein's like, yes, I can handle it. I'm on a cruise. I'm gonna eat the shrimp.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone's been raving about the shrimp. So Lewisstein eats the shrimp, and sure enough, you know, like he's got bubble guts like 30 minutes later. And Adelaide's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be the one to tell Chrysanthemum and Joseph that we don't want to fuck tonight. You need to tell them because you ate the shrimp.
Yeah.
And so Lewisstein goes to Chrysanthemum and Chrysanthemum and Joseph's little cabin and goes, hey, I had the shrimp tonight. We can't fuck tonight. Maybe tomorrow. And then they're like, yeah, okay. But hey, Adelaide, hang back for a second. So Lewisstein goes, turns around, he sees Adelaide, decides to fuck without him. And he goes, oh my God, I'm sorry I had the shrimp. This can't wait a day. And they're like, no, we've had these plans all day. I'm sorry. So then Lewisstein's like, all because of the shrimp? And then someone in the cabin over goes, hey, my wife won't fuck me either because of the shrimp. And then someone else goes, me neither. Me neither. And then it's a 60-person brawl versus of like the people who wanted to eat the shrimp and fucked, but they couldn't fuck, but it's okay because we can just fuck tomorrow. And then the people who were like, no, we've had fuck plans all day. And that's how this happened, I think.
I mean, you've got to see this video of it. Like, there's like a security guard that's just like, I'm not getting paid enough for 50, like 1 versus 57. Like I could take on 1 threesome, but
No,
I can't
because
get.
even
And then somebody's just tossing plates. Somebody's just
well, because what else do you do if you see? Look, if you're an innocent bystander who happens to be standing near the
Mhm.
plates and you already see 54 people fighting in front of you, you're
Mm.
not going to just start tossing plates in the mix.
Go
Like,
toss a
why
plate.
not?
Yeah, you're like Chrysanthemum. All these people got. We had, touched legs
Yeah,
at the pool. I thought maybe we would be invited,
right.
to a sex swing, but
Yeah.
that's so funny.
Also, the security guards are like, because if I'm correct, which I think I am, the security guards like, I'm not breaking up this fight. The farts. The
The
farts are
farts,
awful.
the shrimp farts.
The
Yeah,
shrimp farts of all these people fighting and farting because they weren't having sex.
but my favorite tweet reply, and I'm getting salty. It said, "Damn, that security guard must have been trained by the Uvalde police because he ain't doing shit."
Whoa.
Ooh. Anyway, spicy. Anyway, that's Carnival Cruise for all of your cruise lines. Now I kind of want to go on a Carnival cruise because I'm hoping the prices drop a little bit from this. That's like,
How could they get any lower after COVID?
like slashing prices left and right. They're like, Carnival, we promise Chrysanthemum and her gang ain't gonna be on the next cruise.
When are they gonna just stop with the cruises? Like, they're literally just cesspools
Yeah.
of where people end up with like stomach viruses or just way too fucking drunk.
The battle moved from the 5th floor to the ship's 1st floor. It moved levels. It didn't just remain one place. They said, you know what this thing needs? A parade. We need to travel this.
That's so fucking
Anyway.
funny.
All right, speaking of so funny, Cass, I'm about to tell you from the mirror.co.uk. I'm about to tell you the world's funniest joke. Okay?
Yeah, okay. But how did they get to this, that this was the world's funniest joke before you tell me?
Okay. So scientists, one with a PhD, analyzed a study started on a website 20 years ago to select a gag, which makes us feel superior to others. Okay? All right.
Okay.
So more than 1.5 million people across the world rated 5 randomly selected jokes out of a database of more than 40,000 jokes and the best ranked one was this. So somewhat scientific.
Yeah, because nothing screams humor than PhDs, science, and database. But carry on. Tell the joke. Let's see if it's funny.
Okay. All right. You ready? Okay. Let me do it. All right. So 2 hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other hunter whips out his phone and calls the emergency line. He gasps because my friend is dead. What can I do? And the operator says, sir, calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's actually dead. And there's silence. And then a gunshot is heard. Back on the phone, the hunter says, okay, he's dead. Now what?
Okay.
Because he shot him. Like he was like, oh, he's dead. He's
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I've heard funnier. It involved a priest, a rabbi, and a bear walking into a bar, and it gets pretty dicey. It's a little racist at one point, but it hear me out. It really says something about our society. No, I don't have that joke.
You don't have one of those jokes?
No, I don't have a priest, a rabbi, and a bear walk into a bar joke. I don't, unfortunately.
I've got some dad jokes.
Okay, let's hear a dad joke. Yeah.
I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Okay, I like that.
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
What?
Sophisticated.
Oh, you know what one I like to do with kids? I
What?
like to say, um, were you in the boat when the boat tipped over?
What?
Were you in the boat when the boat tipped over?
No.
No, ding dong, you were in the water. They fucking lose it. Because you call them a ding dong, and they're like, I was in the water. They think you're God. It's like God level shit, man. It's like, anyway.
Totally.
Yeah.
Hey, where do fruits go on vacation?
Banana. I don't know where.
Pear is.
Bah.
All right, whatever.
All right.
Okay, so Dr. Richard Weissman, a psychologist who led this study ahead of International Joke Day, which was on Friday, said many of the jokes submitted received higher ratings from certain groups of people, but this one had real universal appeal. I mean, I can already see the Facebook comment of like, a hunter in the woods and, the newspaper comic drawing and my mom reposting it. So I think it's funny.
Have you seen the ads for that new movie where the crawdads sing?
No, but I read the book.
You read the book? Okay, so the author is basically, she's not banned, but she's been advised to never come back to Zambia because her and her husband and her son were basically murdering poachers. As American citizens, they like took it upon themselves to set up camp and take it upon themselves to like defend and murder poachers and like kill anyone allegedly harming this like group of elephants and stuff like that. And the U.S. Embassy was like, you should never come back to Zambia. They've never been charged with murder, but there's an open investigation on them. They basically had open season on these people. Yeah, that author basically just like maybe she didn't, but she knew about it and was a part of it and has covered up for her ex-husband and her son that were murdering people in Zambia without the permission of the government. Like they were just like, oh, we're Americans. We know what's best. We'll just take this upon ourselves.
If I'm recalling the subject matter of the book correctly, that doesn't seem too weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's up? Anyway.
All right. So, would you describe yourself as a spoiled child?
It depends on who you ask. I think I had an adequate, well cared for childhood, but I was not spoiled by any means. Okay. No. Were you?
Yeah, probably. I think so.
Hell yeah.
At least for a while. According to the NewYorkPost.com, the world's most spoiled toddler sucks on a solid gold binky. Whatever he likes, he gets.
With a $1,200 solid gold pacifier in his mouth and an $1,100 diamond encrusted bracelet on his wrist, a 1-year-old bundle of bling dream is obsessively pampered by his single, unemployed mom, Casey Akram, who would happily walk around naked to ensure her tot has whatever he likes.
Yeah, so this story is kind of crazy, and I almost feel like maybe like a journalist trying to take advantage of someone who's mentally ill. But we'll carry on. This woman, she said, as soon as I had my little boy, my obsession changed from how I looked to focusing on my son. She's 32, and she buys him like, she says, what Jareem wants, Jareem gets, and like she'll buy this baby like Gucci sneakers. Here's the thing. 1-year-olds, I don't think want Gucci sneakers.
I would love to hear him pronounce Versace.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I would love that.
But he's got a Versace chain and a lot of costly jewelry, which seems dangerous.
Yeah. The choking hazard.
Yeah. The solid gold binky or like, but then he just like chucked in the middle of town and lost. And she said she cried for 3 days. She's like, oh, she spent $240 to have his palm read in order to learn his favorite color.
Mm-hmm.
Which, shame on that palm reader.
Yes, shame on them. Yeah. Whatever he likes, he gets. And if I can't afford it, I ring his dad and get the money. I'm not working at the moment. I do all this on benefits and help with my ex-partner.
She didn't want a kid, admittedly, prior to COVID, but then she became pregnant in 2020. And since then, she's lavished the boss baby with pricey apparel, extravagant accessories, and luxury accommodations.
I read a tweet recently that was like, what's crazy is like some baby just mispronounces a name and you spend the last 30 years of your life being called Peepo. So I would love to know what the Peepo in this situation and Meemaw think. God.
An all organic breakfast in his $363 designer bed at 6 a.m. and then a delightful screening of Peppa Pig on the TV that his mom moved from their living room into his bedroom, and then a soothing baby oil massage. You're going to break your kid, just by the way. You're going to break your kid.
He's never drunk tap water in his life, she boasted. I fired my nanny because she gave him tap water. See, those two things contradict. Like, she gave him tap water, but he never drunk it. Anyway. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah, she says she's happy to fulfill the boy's every wish. You got to understand that, like, a 1-year-old doesn't want anything.
He doesn't want that. Like, he gets mini pedicures, stylish haircuts.
Like, this is you.
This is
you
you
want
wanting
him to have these things. She says, if I want to spend the money on my son, that's my choice. I don't care if I walk around in Primark shoes, as long as my prince has the best. Primark, I guess, being some cheap UK brand.
Yeah. The last thing she spent on herself were $1.21 Primark shoes for herself.
Like flip-flops.
Yeah.
She says that she plans to baby him for the rest of his life, even when he's all grown up and has a wife. His dad always says that when he turns 18, he'll get a girlfriend and move. But I say no, we'll have bunk beds when he's too old to share a bed with me. I always ask Dream if he gets a girlfriend when he's older and she doesn't like me, will he kick her out? And he says yes. When he finally gets married, his wife is going to hate me. Ooh. That's an understatement.
Ooh. Ooh.
So don't assume that he's going to be straight.
Hey, Cass.
What's up?
Are you ready?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, boy. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week.
Oh, my God.
Girl, you know what Minnesota just did?
What'd they do?
Minnesota just legalized edibles after a Republican didn't read the bill.
Is regular pot legal?
Oh, no.
Just edibles.
Just THC infused edibles and beverages.
So a key Republican state senator who co-chaired a committee that ended up passing this bill was surprised after they passed it to realize that he didn't read it close enough and legalized edibles. And then he was like, oh my God, can we roll that back? And all the Democrats, like House Democrats and governor were like, no, idiot, fuck you. Like, sorry about your bad luck.
Yeah, he said, that doesn't legalize marijuana. We didn't just do that. Like, on mic.
Yeah. And then the Democratic state rep said, oh, are you kidding? Of course you have. Of course you have. No, just kidding. We'll do that next though. Okay. But no, he wasn't kidding. He can't believe that he did it. Yeah.
So the fine print of the measure legalized THC products derived from hemp, but not from marijuana, even though they have the same effect, helping people get high.
So he thought that what he was passing was something that was just regulating existing CBD products. And he thought it was like more of a technical fix, but it also legalized edibles containing Delta 9 THC. So you can't smoke pot yet in Minnesota, but you can get real fucked up on some gummies.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the Board of Pharmacy is initially responsible for providing the regulatory oversight. And so that they'll partner with law enforcement to make sure that there are child-proof handles on the containers and all these things. But House File 600 legalized THC by accident. Yeah, they basically said he just said, oh no, did we just do that? And then he just said, I didn't read the bill on mic. He admitted, I didn't read the bill. Now, if I'm running against him in the future, my only campaign promise, not what I'm going to do, not my accolades, just I'll read the bills.
Yeah. Like he couldn't even hire some lawyers to work for him to read the bills. Like that's what everybody does. They never read the bills themselves. They get
no,
there's a bunch of lawyers to summarize
there's
it.
assistants that just give you summaries and you go, this is what this 40-page thing says in 2 cents. Yeah, this is the summary of this. And it's like, it literally made edibles legal for recreational use accidentally.
So funny. I mean, whatever. Like, give it the times. Like, place. I don't know. Whatever. It'll all be legal soon. So just this is just one step that Minnesota was going to take, whether they liked it or not.
Yeah, I mean, if Everclear's legal, Bacardi 151 is legal.
Sure,
pot should be legal. You know what
I mean? Are you hoarding anything?
Yes. Have I hoarded? Have I hoarded Our Flag Means Death?
I don't know, but I mean, it's a good thing to hoard. Everybody seems to like it. I've only seen the first episode, but
it's a little slow in the first.
Yeah, my fiance was like, "You need to get to the second because it starts to get very good."
It gets the first it's slow, but damn, is it great! I'm all up on pirates. Love a pirate. It's so fun. It's so goddamn fun, and it's delightful, and it's like there's no like homophobia, and it's just fun because you're just like, just bunch of bi pirates on the sea. That's delightful, and it's like that's fun, and that's fun. There's no like racism and homophobia. Just everybody's there's still conflicts and stuff, but it's like, that doesn't exist. That's really cool, and it's just delightful to see. And it's really funny. It's got some great, amazing acting and directing. And I there's some of there's an actor from the Pack Theater in LA, Chris Corbin, and he has legitimately the line of the series that he improvised. So brief setup, basically they're trying to they have a captive and they're trying to get rid of him, or just sell him off or something. He's a British officer, and so the gentleman pirate of the series, he's like, here's this thing. And so Chris Corbin's character thinks that he is propositioning them to be a prostitute. And so he's like, so how does this work? Do you watch? Like, what's the deal? And he's like, he doesn't understand at first. So his little gentleman maid says, like, he thinks you're a prostitute. And he's like, I'm no prostitute, mate. And he gets all indignant. And Chris Corbin is just like, looks like a dirty, raggy, dirty ragtime pirate. And he just, we could have made magic. And it is one of the genuine funniest things I've ever seen. And he fully improvised that line. Take classes at the Pack Theater, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, it was so fucking great. And I could not believe how funny and delightful and fun it is. And it's got all your favorites in it. It's really good. Yeah. Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max. Anyway, what are you hoarding?
I'm hoarding a book. I'm hoarding a book called The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. It's on Reese Witherspoon's reading list. Didn't know what it was about, but I just started reading it. Well, I finished it now, but like, wow, shit, grabbed my attention from the moment I started, and it's just like a quick read and a fun little mystery novel. And there's some things that feel convenient in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give it 4 out of 5 stars, but it's just nice to just read something that I was like, I did not want to stop reading it. Like I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
So The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave.
When it comes to book, Reese Witherspoon, I think, is White Oprah. When it
Yeah.
comes to books, like as far as book club and recommendations and stuff like that, I think Reese's is White Oprah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that's not wrong. What are you throwing out?
I'm throwing out people that fucking return ebooks. You buy an ebook from an author, you don't return it. Like it's not a goddamn library. Like there was this trend on TikTok where people are like, you can return ebooks that you buy from Amazon, you know, from these authors and things like that. That costs not Amazon, but the publisher of that book so much money. And it's like shitty. If you don't like it, if you genuinely don't like it, there are some nuances for recourse, but people that are treating it like it's a library and are like, oh, I read it and I didn't like it in quotations, and then just returning it for a new free book. That's so shitty of you, and stop doing it. Anyway, I think that's so shitty. And it's like, pay people for their work. It's not easy to like self-publish. It's not lucrative financially. And a lot of these people are like owing money to publishers like Amazon and things like that because people are returning ebooks.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I never heard of that.
Yeah, it was like somebody on TikTok was like, here's what you can do to skirt the system. And then people are doing it, and all these authors are like, this is how much money it's costing me, and now I actually owe the publisher because so many people have returned my book after reading it. Stupid. Anyway, what are you throwing out?
I am throwing out, with no proper research or proper given time at all to watch it, I'm throwing out Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
I watched maybe 10 to 15 minutes of what I found out from my fiance, who likes the show, was like the penultimate episode of the entire series. And I was like, I don't like this.
You didn't know the characters or the plot of the context.
I knew nothing that was going on. I didn't know anything. And apparently it was, I mean, like, this is like a funeral scene. And I'm like, who died? Why is he like that? Why is he walking away? Why are they mad? Why they do that?
You did
I don't like this show. I don't like it. I don't like it. Watch it later. Like, watch it when I'm not, like, when I don't want to hang out, because I don't like this. He's like, it's the series finale. Like, I just want to finish it. Yeah, I don't like it. Sucks. It just sucks. So I'm doubling down so hard that I'm throwing it out.
Yeah, respect. I put some respect on Cassandra's name. You know what I mean? Like, that is a true commitment to not giving it a chance. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Yeah.
So,
fuck you, Peaky Blinders. You suck. I don't like it.
I was reading an article today and I like made my partner pause the show he was watching, and I was telling him about it. And I was still reading the article to find out kind of what was happening. Like, I knew I read the headline, but then I was like, this woman was, but what I realized was doing is I didn't know the details. So I was still reading the article, but I was drawing it out very slow and dramatically. He was like, finish the article and then tell me the drama of it. Don't, because I was like, can you believe she left Zimbabwe or Zambia? He was like, you don't know what the article's about, but you're trying to tell it very dramatically. You haven't finished the there. So there's no there, but you're reading it very slowly. He's like, find out what you're saying and then tell me in any cadence you want, but You don't know what you're saying yet. You're reading as you're telling me. I was like, accurate, very, yeah, accurate, 100% accurate. Yep.
So funny. We started watching Severance.
Yeah, how is that? Yeah.
It's really good when we can get through an episode because it's very clever, creative, and makes you think, and it's very like has like Black Mirror energy. And so like every 5 to 10 minutes I'll pause it and I'll want to talk about it and be like, did you see that? Can you if you think about it, it's like this. And Taylor will be like, yeah. And then I'll play it and then I'll pause it like 5 minutes later. Now, isn't this crazy? And just commenting on it the whole fucking time. So it's taking us forever to get through it. There was one episode that we watched while we ate dinner, and I was like, oh, that episode felt faster than the other ones. And it was like because I was eating and I couldn't pause it to talk about it so much. So I think we're just like obnoxious.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you can't get enough of our obnoxiousness, you can find me on Twitter at Cass Cardenas or on Instagram, still private, at Cass Cardenas. Just send me a message. Let me know who you are and I'll let you follow me. And you can find me on the Nooner podcast on the Smodcast Network. And what about you, Erica?
You can find me at Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram, at Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram, or at Gilligal on Twitter. And I have a new fun thing I've been playing called NGL. It's probably Russian spyware, but it's like an anonymous question game. You just post it and then strangers you post it and then people can send you and you post a question or you say tell me anything or ask me, what do you think of me, what do you want to know about this, and then people can answer completely anonymously. And I've been playing much to the detriment of my own mental health because as much as it's fun and some of it's lighthearted, every once in a while it's something like, I want to see you in a bathtub of mayonnaise. And I'm like, ooh, okay. And I can't figure out who said it because it's truly anonymous.
Wow.
And there's a feature where you can pay $10 to get hints of who said it. But the hint is like, this was sent from an iPhone 12. And I'm like, I paid $10 to learn that. Like, go fuck yourself, this app. But anyway, but yeah, it's been super fun it makes you feel important because people are asking specific questions about you. Anyway,
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna post on the Trashy Instagram account though.
Oh no, it's scary. Yeah, you can find this podcast at Trashy Podcast on Gmail. Or I'm sorry.
No, you
can find this podcast at Trashy Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can email us at trashypodcast@gmail.com. You can find our website at or trashypodcast.com. Tell us why you're trash, send us articles. We love when you guys do that. And tell a friend about this podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. That really helps us out. Yeah. And we love you. Thank you so much for listening again. Sorry we took off the week last week. We appreciate your patience and all your kind words that I've already gotten from people. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. And if you're my new therapist listening to this, don't listen, but also leave a 5-star review if you're here. If you've made it this far in the podcast,
wow,
leave a 5-star review if you're going to be here. You know what I mean? If you're going to be here. We'll get into that next week. New therapist intake. Anyway, as always, we love you, baby trash cans, so much. And hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.